crazy, go crazy, crazy, no crazy, no crazy, no crazy,
I wanted to quickly go over episode 2 of Vinland Saga. To be honest, I couldn't really find anything to like really look into this episode. I feel like it's about to be a slow build, and I had to look up a couple of things, so I kind of got that confirmed. It's going to be another 24 episodes this season, so I expect to feel like things are going to need to take their time building up. I now understand what it must have felt like to be a weekly reader, or I guess a weekly viewer for season 1, because that, like, the allure of season 1 opening up to you and, like, you know, showing you how the world works around it is cool and all, but is not, at least for me, not fun weekly, which is why I guess I didn't notice it at first, because one, I binge watched season 1, and 2, I went through the first volume. I covered this in the last video, but like I didn't realize like how important it is to have 16 chapters to just read right through. I don't know how many chapters that, you know, season ended up adapting. I feel like we're at 30 because I had to look up the chapter title for the first episode of this season. But yeah, damn, there's no structure to this, by the way. So yeah, it's a little weird, but I'm starting to understand now, like, this is really gonna, like, you know, it's gonna take some time for things to build. And not only did I get that confirmed from the episode list, getting confirmed how many episodes there were this season, or I guess from the length, I also got it confirmed because I went to go look at the slave master's name. And apparently this is called the slave arc. So this is going to be a whole arc of just Thorvin and Einar going through slavery. That's fun. Spoiler alert to anyone who's only anime only. But yeah, I that's all. That's the only thing I'll be spoiling, is that we'll be on this farm for a couple more episodes at the very least, which should be obvious. But you know, I'm trying to get back to, you know, bigger picture stuff, like what's going on with Canute, what's going on with, you know, that realm of things. When are we gonna get back to that? Hand signals on point today. But yeah, just go over a couple of things that I did find through the episode. Yeah, let's start off with Katil, the slave master, is a good slave master, or as good as he seems, which is kind of funny to think of, like, you know, oh wow, we're slaves, but we kind of got it good here, type of thing. Like, this is a good deal. And for some reason, that kind of just gave off the vibe of, well, things are not exactly what they seem like. And I was not really proven right by this based off of Thorvin's understanding, or Thorvin's, like, you know, very depressed manner. He's not, you know, weak and withered because, you know, he recognized that he came to this farm to work and, you know, it did not go his way. He's depressed for different reasons, and I'll get to that in just a second. But you get that confirmed from, you know, just the way that the other slaves on the farm are treating them, and, you know, just seeing that, well, yeah, you can buy your freedom. I'm kind of renting you as a human being. Me speaking as Katil. I'm kind of renting you as a human being, but, you know, you can leave after I need you. You can leave whenever you want, and then you start to see these people on the farm that are still there after they need to be, either because they don't have land of their own, so they can't leave, or because, you know, they decided to help out. And that's really cool. This is, again, like, really important world building stuff that I guess not world building, but this is, like, you know, good small details that I should be remembering, especially as a reviewer. And they're really fun to notice, but it's just like, this is what's going to keep me waiting. This is going to keep me sane while waiting for the next episode, is realizing, these are small details that you know, Stevie Mappa and I guess I forget the writer's name. I'm going to have to get that soon. I don't want to type a bunch into the mic, but yeah, since this is kind of new for me, I haven't really remembered the mangaka's name yet. But let's crack right into the the main character of the show, Thorvin. What's going on with him? He's like season 4 Eren from Attack on Titan, except, you know, he's not depressed about the world around him. He's depressed because he's underfed. I really like this route, because I feel like he's doing this because he wants to repent, and you kind of get that towards the end of the episode, where, you know, Einar's, or I guess Einar, I'm not calling him Einar, his name is Einar to me. Einar is telling him about, like, you know, hey, you know, the son of this guy Olimar, he's not really about that life. He doesn't really want to do what he thinks he wants to do. Trust me, he should trust me, because, you know, I've seen war, and not knowing that Thorvin was about that himself. You know, he's probably the reason that his village got raided or something like that. So it kind of just reminds Thorvin why he's here. That's the way that I'm going about it. Is he's here to repent for, you know, all the countless lives he's taken, all, like, the villages he's plundered and whatnot. And, you know, I don't think he wants to leave this place anytime soon. I think maybe he might be waiting for a sign to leave, but maybe also he has no purpose. You know, his whole life's purpose was Askeladd. I don't know if he's specifically looking for a life's purpose in this farm. I think Thorvin literally means to just waste away here. Which is why you don't see him, like, fighting back against the slaves who are, like, you know, giving him, you know, scraps for lunch. It's kind of his way of being like, yeah, you know, I should help build a village since I've only torn them down in my time. I like this a lot. Again, I want to see how, like, Einar, you know, bounces off of him, because I assume since they're paired together, is the reason is not just because Ketil told them, but because, is it Ketil? It better be Ketil. I hope it's if it's Kettle, I'm gonna die laughing. But yeah, I hope the reason is not just because, you know, the character in the story paired them together, but because, you know, plot wise, we need to get them together for, you know, either their character arcs to spin off into whatever the hell they're gonna be. And I like it. I assume, you know, based off of everything else that we've seen in this story so far, that is purposeful. It's a very safe bet to make, but it's where they're gonna go is my question. Like, like I said before, in the previous episode review, is this gonna be something that, you know, is just a chance encounter for them after this arc? They kind of go their separate ways, or is this, you know, is Einar going to help actually help Thorvin out of his hole? I know I was saying last week, well, the other day, that maybe Thorvin helps him out of his hole as a recovered man. No, Thorvin's still has apparently gotten much deeper into his hole, and Einar is there to hopefully pull him out. Until maybe, you know, he finds out, oh, you did plunder my village, like, you are the reason why. I doubt that's the case, but again, small details that I have to be considering as a reviewer, because I think he does mention the specific, what's it called? I think he says, like, England raided his town, so yeah, like, things like that I have to pay attention to now. This is crazy. I really just, I love this anime, because the way that you can analyze it, the way that, you know, you do have to keep things into account is a lot different than, like, shonen that I read. So just having the whole new seinen experience, I assume that this is how seinen are, because from the little bit I've read of Berserk, it's like, it seems like, you know, it's not gonna hold your hand. It's not gonna tell you everything that needs to happen, things that you need to be considering. It's like you have to kind of take your own notes, which is pretty cool. So one thing I noticed that Einar spoke about was once he got to the farm, he realizes that the Danish and the English aren't different. And this is something that took Attack on Titan about 10 years to get to. No fault of their own. It's just the story didn't really start to talk about that element until after, or into like, you know, after like chapter 100 or something like that. So, because it didn't need to, spoiler alert. But it's really cool that he's starting to see that, right? So the things that Einar learns and the things that Thorvin, I guess, is going to have to relearn are the things we should be watching out for as, like, not just themes of the season, not just themes of this slavery arc, but you know, how this is going to carry on to the rest of the season. I would love to just make all these predictions, wild theories that I have. I have nothing so far. We have 2 episodes. All I can really talk about is, like, what direction I think things are going to go in, but I don't really know, you know, like, you know, what Ketil's, like, deal is with, you know, how his farm is run, yada yada yada, like if there's any, like, dark, undertone there could be. It seems like, based off his encounter with his son, that maybe he's just a dude struggling to get by, or he's doing well for himself because he's hired a bunch of help, but he's just like any other dad. He's struggling with the son. He's going through that bit of like, I need you to take on the family business, and he's like, I don't want to. Or maybe there's something much darker here. Again, like I would love to know. I would love to make these educated guesses, but based off of just 2 episodes, I'm very much just along for the ride. I won't be able to get to stuff until I think we get to like the political side of things. Until we get back to like Canute, I don't want to make any solid predictions. I just want to really observe everything that we're getting in the story right now. And with that, I will not cut it here. But there was one more thing that I really wanted to talk about. Oh yeah, it was the son. So see, even when I don't write a script, this is unscripted. Even when I don't write a script, I've got some decent structure. It seems it's just you gotta stay with me for a quick second. But the son at the end of the episode sort of kind of feels like he's getting over himself. Like, yeah, he's still marching about as the entitled little prick that he is, but he doesn't seem to want to go out drinking with his buddies. Like, he's very reluctantly going around or going out with them. I think that might be the first step towards him turning a new leaf. If not the first step, then is the setup for that. I think what we can get here is either him learning how to be a man or a warrior through Einar and Thorvin, maybe reluctantly, right? Like, maybe he has an encounter with them, and Thorvin's beat. He's not gonna say shit, but maybe Einar says something like, hey, you shouldn't do this. Yeah, got it. I don't know the exact scenario. It actually could also be Thorvin too. It could be something like underhanded that Thorvin might say as the very experienced young man that he is. It's just like, nah, you don't want to do that. Like, maybe a dude's trying to get into a fight, and he, Thorvin doesn't, in his current state, does not want to get involved with anything, but he just wants to cut his trees. But like, maybe as a warning, since he has respect for the farmer, for Ketil or Kettle, that he says something to the son, and the son, based off of what he's learned recently about himself, since he's like very much like the Bakugo, like male tsundere type. Based off of that, he takes offense to it, and he kind of tells him, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But it stays in his head. He keeps thinking about that. That's the kind of the road that I imagine for Olmar. But I also think that there's going to come a point where he has to use that sword, right? And either it's not going to come out, and he's going to get hit, either get killed, or he's going to get badly injured, or maybe Thorvin comes to save him, or he realizes, like, I'm actually not about this. I'm going to put the sword down. Those are the only 2 options I really see for him. I think there's more. There's probably more to him. But yeah, I think if anything, like, the only other option I could possibly see for him is like Thorvin teaching him how to use his sword. I don't see that happening. I just don't know how the slave arc is going to turn out, especially now. Like, again, I kind of messed myself up right before recording this to decide to Google the slave master's name, because now that I know that it's an arc, I'm just like trying to like big brain it, when I shouldn't be. I should just be taking these things for what they are. But yeah, it's pretty much all I got to really say about that. I'll probably re-record this tomorrow and come with a little more structure, but in case I don't, that's pretty much it. Yeah, let me see, there's actually one more thing. Speaking on the whole Danes and the English are a very similar thing, I forgot to mention that the reason why that was so notable to me wasn't because, oh wow, Einar is starting to realize, I should not be, trying to fight people or trying to get revenge. I shouldn't be on this, vengeance plot for what, these raiders did to my village and to my dad. It's because this is, also another seinen that is wit to Mappa, and we've got to do talking about an enemy. So that's like, nobody's your enemy, right? That's Thor's in season 1, and then you've got Eren in like season 2 or 3 of Attack on Titan going, who's the enemy? I need to know who the enemy is so I can go out and kill them. And then Ymir's there just like, you have no idea. You're so young and naive. So it's cool that is like a consistent thing either in seinen or it just happens to be a coincidence. But it's very funny. This whole paths thing is very serious to me. So It's that was pretty much the last thing. Is that little stupid thing. But I'll probably refresh this tomorrow. I'll see what parts of this I can keep, just because I wanted to get this out of the way before I went to bed, and I felt like I had enough. And I do have enough. We got 16 minutes. So yeah, my name is Sheldon. Love you all. Be safe. And I didn't hesitate there because I don't love you. I hesitated there because I didn't know what my outro is. I still don't have my outro memorized. But yeah, have a good day. Bye.